Hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm Dycart, and this is episode 7 of my Stationeers Let's Play. So, we're currently just trying to get some stuff working here. I want to create some more steel, but if you look here, the furnace chamber still has pressure and temperature in it. That's because this furnace output is sealed off. So nothing can escape, and it's just kind of sitting in there, and it'll slowly go down as it cools, but it's going to take it quite a while. So what I want to do is I want to build a way to vent this, because pretty much any piping, including these, they're blocked off. So any piece of pipe in there is just blocked. It's just done. Nothing's going to escape. Let's grab this and let's put it here. So let's get ready to make something that we can do here. I'm going to need some iron. So as soon as this done, we'll get some iron smelting. But basically what we want to do is we want to set up a passive vent that will just release the air. However, the way this game works, I'm not sure if this is as intended or something that they plan to fix for the final release, but you cannot connect items that do something, have an active function, to other items. So for instance, I couldn't create a passive vent and just connect it right here and have it work. That wouldn't work. Plus, I don't necessarily want it to just be constantly releasing the output, because I want this pressurized and heat generating. So what you have to do is you have to create piping. Let's see, I have copper in there. Do I have? Well, I have some iron in there. So let's do this. Let's turn this on and inject what we've got. A little bit of iron. All right, so we want to create pipe, because you have to connect anything. Ooh, is there a, hang on a second, active vent, wall heater? Okay, never mind. If you want to connect anything that serves a purpose, you have to have it connected to pipe, and I'll explain that more in a moment. So for right now, I just need 2 chunks of pipe. 1, 2. Okay. Now let's look. The next thing I want is I need a valve, and I need a passive vent. All right, so let's spit this passive vent out. All right, excellent. And then I need just a pipe valve right there. Okay, good. All right, so now we've got this stuff. So I'm just going to set it over here on the ground, because we're going to use it here in just a moment. All right, but here's the trick. I can hook this up. Like, see, I can take this pipe right here, and I can right click and build it. Boom, right on there. Right? That's good. And I can even take this valve and place it. Let's see. Good enough. All right. However, I can't place this passive vent on the end of this, so I need the other pipe. Okay, so I want this pipe to go, sometimes it can be finicky, right? Oh, there we go. All right, so that's great. But this passive vent, watch when I try to build it here. It's red, and if you read it, it says placement is only allowed on iron frame and frame structures directly. All right, so see how it can go on the floor? So what I'm going to do is build a quick frame there. Grab this iron ingot, and this thing's finished with the copper it was working on, so we're going to throw the iron ingot in here, throw this iron ore in there, and start it smelting. Grab this copper ingot. We'll just throw it here for now. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to find the iron frames, and we only need 1 frame, because I'm just going to build one thing really quick. And we don't have a whole lot of iron, so I'm going to build this 1 frame. Okay, that's done. So now we need iron sheets. And what do you know? We can build 2 iron sheets. That's perfect. Okay, that's exactly what we needed. So we grab this frame, and we're going to set it right here so that we'll be able to mount that passive vent on it. And then we grab the 2 sheets, and we have to weld these like we've seen before. Oh, it helps if I switch my belt. All right, switching this back. Okay, so now we grab our welding torch, fire it up, and construct this frame. Now this is all just kind of a temporary, just to get this furnace working the way I want it to for now. We will be moving all of this at a later time. Now this passive vent will go right there perfectly. All right. So this valve is turned off right now. That's the red right there. So it's not allowing anything out. So if we look over here, pressure's still high, temperature's still high. I kind of want to reset this. So I'm going to open this valve, which will allow air to escape. You can hear it a little bit, and now you can see the air escape. And if you look here, the pressure is dropping drastically. And that's what we want right now. I just want to kind of clear it out and start fresh. All right, so I'm going to switch belts again. Okay, so I need steel. That's what this is all going for. I want more steel. So I'm allowing this to depressurize. And while it is, I'm going to grab some coal and some iron and put them in my belt here, and then grab both these other things of iron. So to make steel again, we need 1 oxide to 2 volatile, which is my 5. I've got 5 oxide here and then 10 volatile. This might be more than I really need. I'm just kind of picking these ratios, or keeping the ratio right and picking the numbers. So this might be more than I really need, but it should still work. And then I've got I need 50 coal and 150 iron. So that's the rest of this stuff. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, hang on a second. Let me drop this iron. All right, so we look here. All right, pressure's down all the way. Temperature's dropping. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm going to go ahead and close this valve because now I want the furnace to not vent everything out immediately. It is daylight. Okay, well, I don't even know where the sun's at, but obviously we're in the daytime. You can see it here. I just kicked my iron across the way there. So I need to be quick about this. Normally I would wait until nighttime, but I think I'll still be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the volatile that's got selected in my mining belt right here, and I'm going to put it in my hand and then immediately put it into the furnace as fast as I can. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the oxide. Okay, so I've got those in the furnace, and they're getting ready to go. Let me go grab that iron. All right, now I'm going to activate it. And that fired it way up. It's pretty powerful right now, way more than I actually needed it. But I'm going to start putting my components in here now. Come on, there we go. There's 1 iron. There's 2 iron. There's 3 iron. And then here's the 1 coal. So that should be, yep, 150 iron. It should end up to 50 hydrocarbon, which will make steel. There you go, 200 gram ingot of steel. Boom. And now I've got my steel. I'm going to let this sit here in case I decide I want to make some more steel or something like that in a moment. But I have some steel, and that's the big thing right there, is I wanted that steel. So let's throw that in here. Do I have enough? Oh, I don't quite have enough coal to make some more steel. Unless I take 1 away from all of these. You know what? Let's do that. I want more steel. Steel, steel, steel. All right, so split 1 off of here. So there's a 49. So there is nothing in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that 49 in. Let's grab this guy. Split 1. We got a 49, so we'll put him in. And we can pick that guy up. Switch back. And this guy, and we will split 1 off. And so what I'm doing here is, I know I have 49 coal, so I'm doing 3 things of 49 iron in there. And that got me to 47. Okay, and then I'm doing a 49 coal, so that should keep the ratio of 1 to 3. even though it's not quite exactly the same as what I just made. That should be correct. And now I'll get 196 gram ingot of steel. So I'm just going to keep the furnace sitting here, and it's going to slowly lose pressure and slowly lose temperature. But I'm not too worried about that right now. But I just got an extra thing of steel, which is fantastic. All right, so that's what we want. All right, the next thing we want is, while we have this furnace active, it will smelt way, way faster than our arc furnace. Okay, so let's throw just some iron in there. Let's just smelt a bunch of iron. We want to get this while the temperature's hot enough to still do it. So grab that, grab that, grab that, and we'll just smelt the rest of our iron here. But we've got to be quick about it, because the temperature is dropping pretty quick. In fact, it may have dropped too much. Yep, it dropped too much. So we're not going to get iron out of this, because look how fast that temperature is dropping. All right, so what I want to try here, and this is an experiment, this may be dumb. Maybe everything will blow up in my face, I'm not sure. But my mindset is, if I want the temperature to go up, I want to put in some more hydrogen. Okay, so let's look at my belt here. Oh, I only have an 18. I don't have one to break off. So never mind, I'm not going to do it. I was going to, if I had like a single of hydrogen, I would just pop it in and see if the temperature would rise, because we need the temperature to be over 700. So that's our biggest issue right now. So we can't do that. But we'll just grab our iron back, put it back over here, and we'll worry about that. In fact, I'll just put one of them in here and just start it going. So unfortunately, we didn't utilize that in time. So we can actually just vent this. Just get it to cool down a little bit faster. Alright, grab this. Alright, but we made a bunch of steel, which is one of the things I wanted to focus on this time around. Let's look at this pipe bender. We don't have any more iron in there, so we need this to go here. Alright. And let's build, what do we want to build? We want to build something. You know what? I'm going to wait on that. We'll leave that there for a moment. First, let's build some more frames, but this time, let's look at this. Here we go. Iron sheets. Well, let's go iron frame. Iron frames cost us 4 grams of iron to make one frame. Okay, so 4 grams of iron to make one frame. Now let's go up here and find steel. Steel frame. Look at that. It only takes 2 grams of steel to make one frame. So half as much steel as it takes iron. So that's good. It takes less steel. Now when you think about the steel, we got 200 grams of steel from 150 grams of iron and 50 grams of coal. Coal's kind of like, I don't want to call it a throwaway, but it's just like, basically we turned 150 grams of iron into 200 grams of steel, and now creating something out of steel only costs half as much. So if you think about that, building frames and stuff out of steel, way, way better than building them out of iron. So as soon as you can get your furnace to work so that you can create the steel alloy, start using steel for everything, all your frames and everything, because you're using less total resources for it. All right, so I'm going to swap my belt back here, and I'm going to put that one away. All right, so the furnace is just sitting there right now, so I'm going to stick, let's see, do we need more copper? No, let's put some more iron in here and just get it going. Right? And then we can pick up these frames. So what we're getting the frames for is we want to build a room that we will use the furnace in, and we will set it up with canisters so that we can utilize canisters to better control how we use the furnace. And it's really going to help us for creating alloys in the future. So instead of doing what I just did and just kind of throwing stuff in there and hoping, we're going to make a better system for using the furnace. We'll make a little room, and we'll put the furnace in it, and it's going to just be way more helpful to us. And you'll see. I doubt we're going to get the whole thing finished this episode, but we can get a good start on it, and then we can finish it up in the next episode. All right, getting some iron smelted. That's good. Grab some more of these. So where to build this room? Well, I'm considering drilling out this area and just using kind of this frame that we set there and back around maybe. That might be what we do. All right, so we're going to stop the frames for now. We might need some more later, but we need sheets, and we need 2 steel sheets per frame, and we just made 15 frames. And look at, a steel sheet is only half a gram. So look how, I mean, it's coming fast. So we need 30 of these. And that just finished, so let's grab some iron ore. Get another one going. Grab these sheets, combine them. All right, so we're doing pretty good. We got the steel sheets going. In fact, we can just set these down. Well, no, let's put them in here for now. All right, and then grab this belt if I remember right. Yeah, that's my mining belt. So I'm going to swap it really quick. And we're going to just dig away back here, give ourselves some space. Again, you don't necessarily have to dig everything out first, because if you're just putting a wall there, there can kind of be earth in the middle of the wall. However, every so often it'll get in the way, and it won't build the way you want it to. So kind of better to just clear it all out and get it taken care of. And we don't need a big room, and we don't necessarily need a room at all, but I'll show you why I think it's a good idea to have a room once we get it done here. So I'm just going to keep digging this back. Eventually we'll expand upon the room, or build a separate room and then move the furnaces and stuff into it. I'm not sure yet. But for now, this is kind of let's just get materials that we need so that we can progress later and then kind of make stuff look good later. Some people don't like that idea. Some people would rather make everything look beautiful now and take the extra time to do it. I'm more of I want to get to the advanced stuff as soon as I can, and then I can start worrying about keeping it controlled and looking fabulous. And neither way's right, neither way's wrong. Just a personal preference for me. All right, the battery on this thing is dying, so I'm going to grab one of these that I made before and switch back here. And oh, see, the charge is critical. You can see it was blinking red. So I'm going to swap it and stick this this battery in there. So now my mining drill has a big charge. Let's turn this off for now. And put this back. And look at it. Look at all these sheets we got. Let's see how many we have here. Yeah, so we have more than we needed for this room, I believe, but that's okay. We're going to use all of them, believe me. All right, so let's start out with placing some frames. Let's say that we're going to use this frame. Might as well, right? So let's build. I wonder if I should mine that out first, just to get that extra oxide. I think I will. It'll only take us a moment. And let's get this oxide out of the way so that we're not covering it up with our walls. that's good enough. That's all we really needed to do there. All right, so back to the frames. So let's set up some frames here. So if you scroll through these, there's the frame side, so it looks like that, and then there's the frame corner. The side and the corner you cannot fill in and make them solid. The way they look is just like they look here, only not green, of course. So if you want something just a little bit different aesthetically, they're great. They'll work. All right, so we're going to make this the opening here, and we'll come into the room. And so in this room, we're going to want two openings for furnaces. And I do say furnaces because I'm going to make two. We already have one. Okay. I should have moved that oxide. In fact, I'm going to in a moment. All right, so we'll have a furnace, another furnace. Let's make this a little bit longer here. Oh, we're out of frames already. So I need two more frames, and I'm going to drill this out. So let's go make our two frames really quick. Actually, before we do that, just so it's easier walking around in here, nope, never mind. I changed my mind already. Steel frames. Two more. One. And two. Boink. All right. So let's go in here and put one here and one there. All right. And then we can take our drill and grab this oxide out of the walls here. We'll end up using it all eventually. What we may have to do is make more mining belts so that we just keep those as storage in a locker, because the mining belts are how we store the oxide and volatiles and those things that'll like melt in the sun. All right, good enough for now. So we put this away, and then we'll swap belts. All right, and we already did that. So now let's grab our welding tool, fire it up, and I just realized we never did build a ceiling on this place. Now we don't necessarily need one. In fact, maybe we go without. I'm not sure. So one thing I was told while streaming this game recently, and I haven't tested it out yet, but one thing I was told was if there is no direct sunlight and you pull out oxide or the volatiles into your hand, if you're standing inside a room, a sealed room where no sunlight can get in, supposedly they will not melt, and you can hang on to them. So by doing that, you can set up a room, much like we're doing right here, and have it and use it anytime. You don't have to worry about it being daytime or nighttime, or trying to hurry like I did throwing the last little bit in there. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I had 5 oxide. I put it in my hand, then immediately dumped it in there, but it was already down to 4 by the time I dumped it into the furnace. And we're back to zeros on that. Not that that matters. We're going to change that soon. All right, so this is our little room that we're going to build. We're going to put a door here, and we'll put a ceiling on. Okay. But what we're going to put in this room is our main furnace, okay? And then we're going to build a second furnace, and we're going to use that second furnace just for melting gases. And I'll show you. I'll explain that once we set it up. But we're going to use that for melting gases, and then we're going to have some canisters and piping set up to trap those gases. So I'll show you that hopefully we can get it set up in the next episode. All right, we got plenty of that stuff going. But we do need some more frames for the ceiling here. So let's say how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 for the doorway. So we need 7 more frames, which will mean 14 steel plates, which I already have 9 of. So 7 frames. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We'll do the 7 frames. We'll finish up the roof. And then I'll start working on stuff. And one of the things you can do is, like, I just sealed it all in. You know, I added the steel plates to the walls. One thing you can do is not do that. Like, you want to add them to the floor just for movement's sake, so you don't like fall into them. But you can leave the walls open until after you've placed everything and done any wiring or piping in the wall areas that you're going to need to do, and then fill them in at the end. So the way I've done it, instead of doing that way, which probably would have been the smarter way to do it, but the way I've done it, I'm going to end up deconstructing these walls to put pipe and stuff in them, and then reconstructing them again. So basically I'm doubling up my work, but I'm not too worried about it because it's really fast. All right, so 7, and I'm going to need 14, so I need 5 more sheets. And that is it. All right, so we need to throw, here, I'm going to put these sheets and frames in here because I know I'm going to use them in a moment. We need to take some of this iron and put it in the autolathe. And we are going to want to make another furnace. We want 2 furnaces to start with. And remember, it's furnace, not the arc furnace. So that's what we want. So what do we need there? We need some copper, and we have some right here. All right, so let's build one more furnace. And that's going relatively slow. So while that's building, I'm going to grab these frames and set them up. And I'm just setting up the frame, so light's still going to come in here when it's daylight until I close it off. But the frames are there now, so that when the time comes, I can just fill those in with the steel sheets and be good to go. All right, how are we looking over here? 24%. All right, so we can start breaking these down. That's another thing. We're going to need a bunch of pipe, like a bunch of pipe. So let's... Oh, we also need canisters. Do we have enough for those? Yeah, let's build some canisters. Thinking 3 canisters. Still no furnace. Okay, so we've got our 3 canisters that we'll use eventually, and we need a ton of pipe. So we're just going to let that go. And it's just going to spit pipe out, and then pipe's going to just roll all over, and we'll just collect it all later. So it's going to make a big mess. But that's all right. I'm okay with a mess for now because we are cleaning it up. All right, so while we're waiting for that, this furnace is pretty much done. So we can then take our drill and deconstruct it. Okay, and then we can take our drill and, oh, I guess we don't need it for any of these. We can use this and deconstruct the pipe and the valve and the vent. So we've got all that deconstructed, just out of the way now. So now we can walk in here more freely, and we can set this furnace up. So we'll make this our operating furnace, like the one that we're going to use. Where we want to set that up, though, is the question. And it can be really tough getting it turned just the right way. I think I'll do it here for now. We might move it again. How are we doing? Oh, that furnace finished. Perfect. Okay, so we're turning that off. We still got pipes spitting out. Look at them go. This furnace is going to be used differently. All I want to do with this furnace is put stuff in it. That's it. I'm not actually getting anything out of it. I'm putting just gaseous stuff in it. I'm not getting out of it any like ingots or anything like that. So I don't have to worry so much about that. What I want is access to the top. Oops. Where you put stuff in. So right there's the out. So there's the in. So what I want is access to that and access to the pipes. So let's put this right here. Okay, so it's kind of in the wall. Not that big of a deal though. I'm just going to be putting gases in here, and then they're going to come out this pipe. Oops. So I'm going to use that, and we'll get into this later. So let's flip this off for now. And we can start collecting our pipe, and pipes stack in stacks of 20. So we'll go till we get 20, switch hands. And this is probably enough pipe to finish this whole project, but like everything else, you're going to use a ton. So I'm throwing this in here because I'm going to be using it. So there's no such thing really as making too much pipe. I mean, well, I take that back. I guess there would be, but we're going to use all this pipe. We don't have to fear. Okay. So we'll throw this in here. And now we've got 3 canisters, and what we need is holders to hold those canisters. So, you know what? We're going to need 3 pressure regulators. Maybe 4 pressure regulators. So I need gold and copper in there. Well, there's some copper right here. And some gold right here. All right, so I am going to continue building this or constructing the components that we need, but I will not build the room between episodes. I'll do that on the next episode for sure. Oh, I need more iron. It's a good thing I have a bunch sitting right here. So there's 1. And we may need more. My count might be off right here. 2. But I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the comments I'm getting. It's been wonderful talking to people and seeing comments, seeing things that people are liking or not liking. It's great. I love it. I love it. All right, gas tank storage is another thing we want. So please leave a comment and check me out on when I'm streaming. Dycart, same name that I use on here. But I appreciate you viewing the episode. I hope you liked it. If so, please click that thumbs up. That lets me know that people are enjoying the work I'm doing. Again, subscribe if you want to see when I have updates. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care, everyone.